April 5th, 1997. Location: Council Surveillance Post, Sector 7. I've spent 14 years cataloguing the clean, the ancient, and the divine, but the subject known as Suri is a mess of ink and bone that I can't quite scrub from my conscience. To understand the shadow currently stretching over our slayer, you first have to understand the abattoir where Suri was born. She's a Mohra hybrid, a creature of ancient warrior blood and corrupted humanity. Most of her kind were wiped out in the old world, but a rogue faction of my peers' men who thought they could play God with a test tube didn't want the line to end. They wanted a soldier who wouldn't die, a biological weapon they could keep on a leash. I saw the photos of that facility. It wasn't a lab, it was a slaughterhouse. Most of the girls died when their blood started to boil from the inside out, their human hearts failing under the pressure of the Mohra essence. But Suri's mother was different. She was psychically sensitive, a fragile vessel that survived just long enough to bring this thing into the world before the child's own internal furnace consumed her. Suri is a heat leech, plain and simple. She doesn't have a soul in the way you or I do. She has a flickering, shadowed consciousness that only stays lit when she's feeding on adrenaline. She's a mystical capacitor, a battery that requires the static of violence just to feel real. I've watched her from a distance in the Vegas pits. She doesn't fight for territory, and she doesn't fight for money. She just hangs around the edges of the carnage like a ghost, siphoning the raw, kinetic energy of the kill. The first time I saw her mark go live, it was terrifying. Her eyes didn't just change. They became these sharp, feline embers of glowing amber. The iridescent scales started tracing her jawline, shimmering like Mohra hide in the heat. God, the heat. Even from 10 feet away, I felt my skin start to prickle. She radiates a preternatural warmth that smells like ozone and dry earth, with a metallic tang of iron that catches in the back of your throat. She was nearly retired in Vegas. The local vampire packs were terrified of her. Her passive heat radiation was literally scalding them, inflicting the kind of damage you only see with holy water or direct sunlight. They were going to swarm her, just to keep the hellmouth from noticing the disturbance of a creature that could burn them just by standing near. Suri functions in a moral vacuum. She isn't ambitious. She isn't evil in the sense that she wants to see the world burn. She just wants to stay fed. And she treats the law like a suggestion and the truth like a souvenir. She is a predator that was never given a forest, so she made a hunting ground out of the neon and the concrete. And then the Thorn Kiyomura girl showed up, Hana. The Slayer was patrolling that same alley, moving with a strength that leveled the reinforced doors of the city. Hana didn't see a monster when she looked at Suri. She saw a mirror. She stayed her hand when she should have swung the stake, recognizing the same unwanted biological burden in Suri that she carried herself. In that moment, the most dangerous alliance I've ever tracked was born. Hana provided the violence, and Suri provided the escape. The Slayer is supposed to be the line between us and the dark, but Hana is sleeping right on top of that line now, tied to a girl who bleeds heat and knows exactly how to hold the trigger. They've crossed the water now, heading back to the fog of London. The Council thinks they can contain a Slayer, but they haven't accounted for the hybrid who has turned the Chosen One into her personal life support system. Suri doesn't just want survival. She wants the thrill of the siphoned soul. Every time Hana spills blood, Suri is there in the corner, her skin glowing, drinking in the kinetic wake like a starving animal. She's convinced Hana that the world is just a harvest, and they are the only two reapers left. We see the black tires spinning on the English motorways, a trail of cold, drained victims left in their path. If we don't intervene, we won't just lose a Slayer to a demon's claws. We'll lose her to the addiction of a girl who needs the heat of the hunt to keep her own heart beating. Either way, we will be watching. We see the black tires spinning into the fog. Suri is the needle, and Hana is the vein. As long as the engine runs and the blood flows, they're a storm that no cage can hold.